When did it become weird for you to smoke weed on camera?
No, I was told by somebody like a year ago that like you can't smoke weed on the fucking things anymore or whatever. I think it was Robbie or something.
I'm pretty sure what happened was I had my son on camera and you were smoking weed, and we got in trouble on YouTube for that.
Whose fucking fault is that then?
That's on you, bro.
Yeah, yo. I also say, what fucking jacket? Are you an F1 racer? What is this fucking jacket you're wearing?
You know what? We're gonna start with this because we're gonna get into the halftime show in a minute. I wore this specifically for Dante Diana. This soft motherfucker. All right, so clearly I'm over the moon. Fucking Eagles win the Super Bowl. I'm having the goddamn time of my life. Oh, here he is. Perfect timing. Right back from the Italian consulate. Here's Dante.
Hey guys.
Okay, here we go.
Adrian Brody, motherfucker. Let's
Here
go.
we go. This is where I'm going to go because we're getting to the Super Bowl. Whatever. This is the important part. We're in a group chat with a bunch of other people from Barstool, and we're like just watching the game. We're like live talking about the game, and I'm talking shit. Clearly, I'm talking shit.
I'm
talking shit. We're up 34-0. I start going off, telling everybody to suck my dick. We're the best. Fucking refer to me solely as 2-time Super Bowl champion Colin Budney. Whatever. All the usual stuff. Dante comes in unprovoked and says, "This is why everyone hates you guys. Act like you've been there before." To which I then responded, "Suck my fucking dick, Dante."
That's the only appropriate response.
I've only been here once. It's not my fault that
Dante's response was fantastic. And can I tell you a story? I was sitting at a bar talking with a guy about how gnarly Phillies fans are. Then you sent all caps, "Suck my fucking bird." And I just go, "Dude, do you see?" He's like, "I fucking told you, bro."
Listen, that's not where this ends, though. The next day, we're trying to have a normal conversation. I'm sending Dante texts throughout the day, and I'm getting like one-word answers back. I'm getting like a thumbs up, and I'm like, this motherfucker's mad at me. I know he is. And then we hop back in that group chat, and Dante hits me with like "What? Are you drunk again? You trying to start a fight with me again?" I text him on the side. I'm like, "Are you really mad at me right now?" I was like, "I've been here once. Let me have this. This is how I act. This is how we act." He's like, "I'm not mad." I'm like, "You're mad, dude. You're fucking mad."
Coming from fucking Patriots fans, they hate us because they ain't us parading around the fucking world like you know, emperors among the plebeians. Fuck you, Dante.
What do you want me to do, dude? What do you want me to do? Listen, I apologize to absolutely nobody. I am not sorry. I love you to death.
Well, let me tell you this much. I was watching, we were on the rundown with Max. Max did not exactly have the most high energy performance, being that he was just a new Super Bowl champion. And I was thinking to myself, even fucking Max, who was considered the biggest loser at Barstool, is winning championships. And Nate has the Nationals and the fucking Capitals. And Stephen Che has the fucking Bucks. I'm sitting here. I'm like, yo, if I ever win any sort of championship, all of you better brace yourselves, because if this is going to piss people off, I'm going to be the most insufferable motherfucker on the – I already am, and I'm going to take it up 1,000 notches.
I'm sorry.
I literally sunk my entire career into the White Sox. And I was the most insufferable person on the planet for a split second, and then the White Sox did white. Now, like, that was my goal. I'm like, dude, ride off into the sunset, get that one championship, and just be the biggest cunt on the internet. And guess what?
I think you got that part done.
No. In a different way, though. In a different way. Like at that point, like, I won. I don't care what you say to me.
Dude,
like,
I couldn't give
under my skin.
I couldn't give less of a fuck. It was an absolute ass beating. It was beautiful.
Kevin, you might have a shot this year.
For who?
You're getting close.
I'm getting close, but it just doesn't feel. I just can't even fathom ever getting over the hump. Like, I can't.
The hump is the Dodgers.
The Dodgers are going to be tough, and the Knicks are good too. But like the NBA is tough as well. Like, I just, even if we like make moves or become like a perennial playoff team, it's just like the thought of getting through multiple series, 7-game series, winning it. It's just it feels like it'll never happen. I don't even think about it anymore. Like, it's never going to happen for me. And if it does, it's cherry on top.
You don't have one single championship of any kind, correct?
I mean, I was 1 in 86, but I don't count that. So no, I got nothing. I got literally nothing.
Look, obviously the game was the highlight for me, but we got to talk about the halftime show.
Yeah, let's go.
It's been the conversation all over the place. Once again, another thing that me and Dante semi-butted heads about in that group chat. Kendrick Lamar came out, did his thing. Internet's, I wouldn't even say split. I feel like most people thought it sucked. My initial reaction was, yo, that was ass. And I have proof of me saying that. And then I went back and rewatched it the next day. And I was like, okay, if my expectations aren't Super Bowl halftime show and this is just a performance, awesome. Great. Fantastic.
But it's the Super Bowl halftime show.
That's the point here.
Yeah.
And that's the point here. Kev, you've obviously been all over this. What was your opinion on the thing?
Well, I just made another video. It'll come out as soon as I can get the edit done. I think this is also taken on a whole new life of its own, where it's no longer even about the show. It's the reaction to the reaction. Because, bro, let me tell you, last night, I made a video for 1 Minute Man, and it popped off. So I am deep in halftime show algorithm. That is all I'm getting fed, right? And I swear to God, you'll see when I put this video out, because I had about 20 other people's videos that I put into my video. And I was just scrolling. It's going to look like I cherry-picked videos. I swear to God I wasn't. Every video that was criticizing the halftime show was like, I don't think the set list was good. The visual was cool, but it wasn't like over the top. I expected, live music, some instrument, like the show, talking about the music, the artist, the performance. Every video in favor of it was like an old white woman professor telling me about the symbolism.
Yes.
And a white woman telling me, if you don't like the Super Bowl, I know who you voted for. And a guy who looks like, these like old white men and black people too. It's not just white and black. It's more like if you're a fucking asshole or not, telling me that, you're too dumb. You didn't get it. Here's the symbolism. And it's kind of, I don't want to be too dramatic about it, because at the end of the day, it is just a Super Bowl show. But it is kind of like symbolic of what is going on, where it's like, if I don't like what you say, you're dumb. I'm better than you. You didn't get it. And I
hate to say it.
I get it, but I just didn't like it.
I hate to say it, but I feel like that might be where Kendrick's at now, forgetting the Super Bowl. He's in that category now where he's got the Pulitzer, he's got the NPR people sniffing their own farts about him. And that's not his fault. But when you get NPR like tagging onto you, that kind of person, that can talk about it in a nice, quiet voice, then you're fucked. And it's to a certain extent, because now those are the people that are your supporters, and you really don't want them as your supporters.
And that's what also drives me crazy is, on the one hand, I get people being like, this was so hip hop. You went on stage, you did whatever you wanted, you didn't cater, you didn't care about the white people, you didn't care about middle America, you didn't care about non-rap fans, non-black culture. Sure. But on the other hand, we all know he is Mr. Grammy Awards, Mr. Pulitzer, Mr. Commercial Super Bowl. Like, how do he's either done a brilliant job or just gotten extremely lucky that he is all at the same time the most corporate guy, but also regarded as still the backpack rap, influential, deep, artistry guy.
It's hard to take the symbolism seriously when it was led into by a Tostino's Pizza Rolls commercial where an alien got his head squished by fucking doors.
We were talking about this last week. I don't know where the actual underground and the envelope pushers are, because it's become so acceptable. Like, every fucking ad was someone who 10 years ago, there's no amount of money you could have paid them to do some of the ads they did. It's just lost this idea that there is like an artist that's like, just like, fuck you, I'm an artist. I don't do this shit. It's beneath me. Obviously, that's out of the bag. That's gone.
Post Malone looks like every dude that lives under K&A in Kensington and Philadelphia, and he's out here just pitching Bud Light. Like, I give him credit. Like, he's getting the bag. But here's the one thing, too, and I said this in the group chat. I said, there is an element about this that is semi rock and roll or semi like fucking counterculture, where it's like, yo, I'm not playing the hits. I'm coming out here. I'm doing all these new songs. And Kev, I did say you brought up the fact that, well, he might have done this for monetary reasons. That's fine. But at the same time, like, I don't know. On its first watch, I did say, I don't understand exactly, like, you have this stage and you're supposed to be putting on the show of the year and you're doing this for you. Like, this is for like, you're not catering this towards anybody else. It's the one place you're supposed to cater towards everybody else.
And you could do that, by the way, but then I'm also entitled to react. So when people are like, who the fuck are you? Why do we care what you say? It's like, listen, I'm not an expert. You don't have to listen to me, but this is a performance for a vast array of ages, races, genders, whatever. And if you do it in a very niche way for you and your subset, well, then the people who don't like it are entitled to be like, I don't think that was that good, without being like, you're dumb or you're racist or whatever.
Do you think he gets more after event mileage by having done this? Like if he did a performance that everyone agreed was like great and works a Super Bowl, then it kind of dies off quicker. Whereas now we're still talking about it and probably will be talking about it for another week or so.
Well, the big indicator for me was the YouTube replay has as many plays in a day that Usher got in a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. So
I forgot Usher did it.
Yeah, it was like 20, I think Usher got like 27 million replays on his thing, and Kendrick got 25 in a day. And
wow,
it's like, what's your barometer? Is it just attention? Is it his Instagram was up like his Spotify was up like 300%. And it's mostly all of the new songs that he owns 80% of the publishing on. And he, on his Apple interview with Ebro and Low Key before the Super Bowl, he said, I don't do old music. I live in the present. So he's also in the territory where he can do normal shit. If an artist said, I own these records and I don't really like to do shit from 15 years ago, then like, that's fine. But then all of his fans turn it into, no, it's the message and the symbolism. It's like, no, I just like my new music. And also, by the way, it's better for me business-wise. But he gets credit for everything, dude. Every double and triple entendre and every fucking symbolism, everything under the sun.
Why don't we go to our minister of symbolism, Dante? Your thoughts?
I agree with everything Kevin said. I am not in the algorithm deep like he is via the 1 Minute Man article, but we posted, the blog I wrote a year ago when this got announced, and I basically predicted what was going to happen with this show, saying Kendrick is an incredible rapper. He's an incredible artist, incredible lyricist, one of the best ever. That said, he is not a Super Bowl halftime show performer. This was, and I'll give credit, somebody in the comments to that post said this and they nailed it. It could not be the best reference I've seen to this subject. This was like booking a rock act for the show and going with Radiohead. A superior, talented, deep band who is on all these levels that the normal listener is just not catching. Like my parents, my grandparents, my young nieces and nephews who watched that Super Bowl show have no clue what the fuck that was. They don't care about the symbolism. They want to be entertained. That's 95% of the public watching that. I've been to 7 Super Bowls, I think. I've seen everybody from Katy Perry to Maroon 5. Horrible acts. But they're safe. They're safe bets. Everyone knows all those fucking songs. We're brainwashed with them on the radio. Everyone knows who that is. I feel like this was such a drastic swing in the other direction by catering to people who blatantly said a few years ago, fuck the NFL, fuck Roger Goodell, fuck the Super Bowl.
I said fuck Roger Goodell and fuck the NFL.
I do too, but for Jay-Z and Beyonce to say that a few years ago and then to just basically give them carte blanche and say, whoever you guys want to go with. Like it's bananas.
Question though, if you want to bring up the radio and being brainwashed through that, is there an artist right now that's more viral and more like in today's lane, earworm? Like the song just won all these Grammys.
We already said the fact that Taylor Swift has not done a Super Bowl is bananas. Like
awesome.
I would have hated that too,
dude. I it's crazy to say. I think it's like beneath her at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
That was my argument too.
Yeah. Like, I don't get paid. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to just get shit from 90% of America the way Kendrick Lamar just did. Why the fuck would I do this?
Who would want to do this?
Dude, think about the tours of last year, though, that absolutely, like Dua Lipa would crush. But Miley Cyrus would.
I don't think Dua's there yet, but like Miley Cyrus is a good example.
Come on, Dante.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if Miley Cyrus went out there, I'm sure half the internet would be like, "Who's this fucking girl? Where's Motorhead?"
Look up, search the name Usher, search the name, and anybody who's done it recently, you will find worst halftime show.
Usher
ever.
crushed.
Like,
I hate to say it. Usher fucking crushed.
I forgot that it happened.
Find people who said it was boring and the worst ever.
And he played like if Kendrick had come out and done. I know Kevin like elaborated on why he didn't, because he's an artist and he doesn't go backwards. He only goes forward and lives in the present. If he had come out and started with Mad City
Banger.
and set that place off and then played a verse of each of his like commercial songs that people actually know, it could have been a great show. But
you can do both. By the way, you can please the masses. That's what the Super Bowl is. It's like, you are such a good artist. You will have my grandma rocking, and you'll have like the hip hop head rock. He could have had like Snoop come out and done like a West Coast melody.
Dude, he
and
did
like, a million things.
He did a full fucking song of TV Off, which was like 4 verses, which was it was just so boring. Like, and I love Kendrick again. I'm not a hater, but it was a boring fucking show. It was boring.
All right, listen. Now that you said that, I kind of wish that every artist, like, I wish Usher would have came out and didn't do any hits. I wish Usher would have just came out and did all new deep cuts.
You
and
gotta
shit like
play
that.
it like a DJ set. You gotta fucking go.
It's like if you went to if you were DJing a party and you went in there and you played fucking underground rap and like battle rap and like these things that I love, but I'd be like, this party sucks.
Right.
Get
And
out of
this,
here.
I think this is completely the point that everybody's trying to get to is it's like, yo, on its face, once again, go back and rewatch it. On its face, if you're not putting it in the context of Super Bowl halftime show, you're like, damn, that was fire. That was sick. Like if that was like an award show, I'd be like, yo,
that was a Kendrick Lamar performance at a festival, Coachella, Lollapalooza, 10 out of 10. But it wasn't. People were subjected to that because they're tuned into the biggest game of the season. And you should put something forward that 99% of people know and will semi-enjoy, not something that's this niche that is like, you know, artistry and
you know what I kind of think? What about this? I feel like the pop-out show and the Super Bowl should have been flipped.
Oh, yes.
Pop-out show had like ball players and entertainers and everyone's on stage and the crip walking and the partying, and it was like it was a celebration and he did all the hits, and this was like a GNX tour. And it's like, if you were a GNX fan and bought tickets for the GNX tour and love Kendrick, all good. I feel like he did them backwards.
Tell me this wouldn't have been the best halftime show ever for New Orleans. Cash Money, like basically take what they did in LA last year,
but New Orleans.
Take the Kings of LA, Dre and Snoop, center it around them, and then bring in the people around them. I don't think it would ever happen, but if you could have got Outkast to headline and just did a Dirty South like medley, Outkast, Cash Money, Master P and that crew.
Imagine make him say, at the Super Bowl?
Imagine Mystical. Imagine Mystical.
Dude, Mystical would be wild.
It would have been, we would still be talking about it right now as it was the best fucking, like,
I will say this though. You say that now, but then they tried to do the New Orleans thing in the beginning, and they gave John Batiste the
Can we talk about this
national anthem? And everybody online was like, "What is this corny ass bullshit for my national anthem?"
Well, you can't win. No matter what, you're gonna get haters. Like that part is true. But I just think that there's some element of like there's some valid criticisms beyond just the hate of that you're always gonna get.
Agreed. And one of my points that I put into the group chat afterwards that Dante got mad about, and I said, I thought SZA was incredible. I thought SZA, it sounded to the record. I
thought she was lip syncing. Was she not?
Dude, she was to the record. She was
incredible. Is a really strong word. Though,
I thought she was incredible.
I thought she was really strong.
Okay. This is what I mean. If you tell me what was incredible, like I remember when he performed at the Grammys, I think it was with Imagine Dragons or one of those other bands, and there was like fire and they had the fucking drums, and it was like I remember that, and I know that sounds very like you need your big explosions and you need your flashy lights, but like kinda I fucking do. Like what about SZA or what about him was like, what are you pointing to? What are you gonna remember? Like fucking Prince in the Rain or MJ standing there for 2 minutes or Usher on roller skates or what is it that you're remembering? What is so good about it?
If you're ever gonna go butt rock, the Super Bowl is the time to do it. Like turn everything into butt rock. You know what I mean? Like
the only exception I would say to this, and it wouldn't work for a halftime performance, but Chris Stapleton's national anthem, like you could pull off like the minimalist show if the musicianship is at like that tier.
Yeah.
Like kind of basically unparalleled. But otherwise, yeah, like pull out the fireworks and shit.
Yeah, but
but
at the
it's
end of the
like-
day, he wasn't a great halftime performer because he's not the type of person to pander, not in a good or bad
Yeah.
way. It's just like he was never going to meet the expectations that everybody has of a Super Bowl. Really, so
Or
I don't know that
Kendrick.
he's not a Super Bowl performer, but he was a bad choice.
Yeah, it's like if you put Adele up on stage, she's got like the greatest voice in the world. But if she just stood there in front of a mic and belted out her ballads, people would be like, "This is not it."
Well, then I do have to ask, because we have to look forward now, and every year we say, who's going to be the next one to go out and take this public flogging? You know what I mean? Like, who's going to be the next person to get their entire career ripped apart? Who is
Benson Boone, please.
I'll fucking kill myself. Like, who is going to be the next person? And like, once again, you need to look at trends in a way and things like that. I think most people are in agreement. The NFL might try and go country next year because it hasn't been done since the mid 90s. It's the hottest shit going right now. That might be the way they go. I want to go genre by genre here. Who would be the next hip hop artist that you could see doing a Super Bowl?
Well, where is it next year?
I know a guy who's in Australia right now.
Dude, you know what? And I brought this up. I said, as much as it kills me to say this, Drake would put on an amazing performance.
He is the one. That is his, like, when you look, he has more fucking or the same number one hits as Michael Jackson. He could have done a medley of like 15 songs and left 15 off.
Only if we do get Canada as the 51st state should
Fair.
Drake be allowed to play the Super Bowl. Otherwise, like that to me, that's I mean, I'm American, but I have a funny accent. That just seems un-American to put Drake there.
No, but I will say that if you're talking about performers and people who can go out and put a set list together and actually treat it like a rock show, like in a rock arena show, I feel like Drake is that guy, and he has something to prove. Will he ever work with the NFL? Probably not. I don't think he'll. Like, I think he's got to pick now.
Who was the last country artist that did it?
Travis Tritt in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. It feels like if you went country, there's enough people that are of the right status and like household name that could
On
could
that
pull it
note,
off.
I would bet money it's going to be like Morgan Wallen or something next year.
But I don't think they'll touch Morgan Wallen.
It's too,
What about? I mean, it's not country, but has Post Malone ever done it or been in it?
He needs to.
It's him. He's the one.
Yeah, that might be it.
It would make sense, and plus he could do a medley of the hip hop stuff and the country stuff, and because he has even rock shit like Ozzy Osbourne.
Have you seen his tour? I just saw him on tour. He plays White Iverson, all that shit, but he plays it with his country band, and it is fucking unbelievable.
Dude, by the way, that's the biggest miss of that whole thing. Like all the good rap concerts I've ever been to, they have live music.
Yep.
They have people playing the instruments, and it just gives it a visual and it gives it a different sound. And I like everyone's talking to me about how Kendrick Lamar's breath control and how he censored the lyrics on the fly. I don't.
Kevin,
we didn't go to a fucking
Kevin.
poetry slam.
Kevin,
Yeah,
have
it's
you
like, I know that
seen-
is impressive, but like,
Kevin.
shut the fuck up.
Kevin, have you seen this with a rapper like in your life?
No,
I have not
it's crazy.
Seen,
He gets
Dude, I'm telling
everything
you,
he does
it's-
is fucking.
dude, it's like it reminds me of Arcade Fire fans.
Oh
Like,
yeah, okay, that's fair.
How they're like, oh, you just don't get it. You're an idiot. Like they're too good for you. Like that's how Kendrick fans are.
I have a little bit of that in me. I can't lie. I have a little bit of it. You just don't understand why To Pimp a Butterfly was so perfect.
Dude, that
you know
is
what I mean?
the worst argument in the unless someone is like if I said to you there was no symbolism in that show, you'd be like, oh, you didn't get it, dude. It's like I'm telling you, I didn't like the performance. I get the fucking symbolism. I kind of did that with Kanye a little bit. When I stopped liking Kanye, people told me I didn't get it. I was like, I get it. I don't like the sound anymore. I don't like the guy anymore. So,
Yo, Kanye's commercial, by the way. Are you
All right.
fucking kidding me?
Before we get into more halftime picks, let's just get this out of the way. As a diehard Kanye guy my entire life, and as someone who has gone in and out on, defending him or ignoring what he's done and all this shit, I'm out, dude. I'm
you
done.
gotta be out.
I'm out. I'm done.
And not for listen, I mean, yeah, you're a trash bag for basically like clowning Cassie for getting beaten, the Nazi stuff. And morally speaking, yes. But put that aside, like we don't have to be pussies about it. I don't care if you're offended or not. This shit is corny.
Yeah, it's
this
gay
is
as fuck.
shock jock, low level, least common denominator. I need to promote myself and get followers, so I'm gonna say crazy shit. And for someone who's like allegedly supposed to be the biggest artist and mind of our generation, this is like Opie and Anthony fucking like, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, it's gonna be funny if the thing that brings Kanye down is not the Nazi stuff. It's just being corny. Like that's where people's priority is. They're like, yeah, well, let that slide. But the fucking corny, done.
Yeah,
Go.
that's where I'm at. You can offend me, but don't be lame about it.
Kanye's officially the kid in grade school who would draw swastikas on his roller to get in trouble with the teacher. You know what I mean? That's what he is. He's just the worst. Like, and it's just like there's just nothing redeemable at this point. The music's gone
You're
downhill.
still defending him, bro. Come on. Like,
yeah, I
come
mean,
on.
there's just not. It's pointless. And it's like also, if you're a grown man, you're a fucking grown man who has the time to defend the actions of another grown man to that level. You got to find something to do. You got to fucking.
Well, that's what I feel like with Kendrick fans too. Is like they will go to the ends of the earth. And like I was a Drake fan. I was on his side in the battle, and like when it became very clear that he got his fucking teeth kicked in, I was like, yeah, like that's what happened. But if the roles were ever reversed, or they ever had to admit that Kendrick is not the best or the smartest or the whatever, like they do not have the capability to do that as a fan base.
Yeah, and I mean, like the Kanye fan base, I feel like 99% of people now are just kind of like, this is fucking futile. This is pointless. Like the guy's never coming back. It's over. It's I posted about this, but I think about if he still had a publicist, thinking about like, God, we got out of the weeds on that whole your wife being naked at the Grammys thing, and the next day he's like, dude, fucking call me Adolf Hitler. Yeah, I'm out here. Fuck you, dude. Like
fat bitches are sex offenders. Jesus
not,
Christ.
He's literally sitting there like, yo, what's the wildest shit I could say? Post. And it's like, dude, we get it. You're edgy. You're cool. Being edgy and cool is lame. I don't know how, like, it's just.
Yeah. Trying to be at least. Like if you are, you are. But when you're trying to be, you're fucking lame.
Yeah. If it's natural, if you're just a scumbag, but it's like funny. This isn't funny. This is like, you're like posting pictures of swastikas.
Colin, when did we meet? When did we meet? 2021, right? When I first came
2021.
on the pod. Imagine the time I could have saved you if you just fucking listened to me then when I said Kanye's boring and lame.
And every time I would just be like, you just don't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking trust me for once, Colin.
Do you think that Kendrick Lamar likes his fans?
Yeah, I think so.
Like if you were to talk to him, like when you, if I were to show him examples, I saw a clip of him being like, sometimes people break down my 16 bars and they come up with shit that like I didn't even mean, you know? And on the one hand, you can view it as like, oh, that's cool. Like art is open to interpretation, and you saw it one way and I saw it another way. And other times I'm like, you guys are making shit up. Did you see the guy who said that Serena was his ex, SZA was his ex, and the PlayStation X was on the thing. So it's XXX because Drake was linked to XXXTentacion's murder. I'm like, come on, what are we doing? And then we're just like, we can't even just debate like or talk about the music because we're just living in a fantasy world.
The majority of
that
us
was
were
one of
sitting at home,
Dante's burner accounts, by the way.
And the majority of us were sitting on the couch going like, can you just play Money Trees? Like this isn't that
right.
Isn't that
It's
deep.
not that deep, bro. It's just like, and I it's tough. I don't know. Whenever I talk about rap, people just look at me and they don't know that I'm a fan, or they don't know and they're just like, why are you talking about it? Who cares? I don't know what to do there because like on the one hand, rap is now the #1 genre in the world, maybe country, whatever. Plenty of white people talk about it, and it's like I've listened my whole life. I know enough about it to talk. I'm not an expert in it, but the same way, like I'm not an expert in politics, but I talk about that. I'm not an expert in movies, but I talk about that. But it's just one realm where it's like, shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear from you. And it's like, oh, I don't know, man. I think there's plenty of people like me at this point with this genre that are kind of in the same boat. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like you can have that discussion without it being completely mischaracterized.
It's the modern day philosopher's argument. You know what I mean? Like it's the one place they still do that. Is rap. That's it.
Yeah, which I guess is why I like it too, though. So
nobody's arguing over country music in its depth. They're arguing about rap.
Well, that's what I've always liked about rap is like with the battle and the beef, and there's rankings, who's the best, and you know, it's like in country you just like all these people. No one's ever arguing like Morgan Wallen versus Chase Rice or some shit. No. It's just like, yeah, we like it all. That like rap is almost like a sport, and that's why I like it. But it also makes it insufferable at times.
No, I do think that they're going to go in a different direction for the next couple Super Bowls. I think they're going to take a break from hip hop. They got to go to a different genre. They've done pop a lot recently. They've done R&B. They haven't done country in a long time, and it's hot right now. I
got something for you. What about this? It's in the Bay Area. It's at Levi Stadium, San Francisco next year. They are hot in the streets right now a little bit. I mean, they've had I don't want to say a little bit. They've had a big resurgence. What about the Dead?
Oh, see that would
It would. I know. I would not. That's not a halftime show. They need 3 or 4 hours on stage to be good. However, I don't put it past the NFL to fuck
How
something like
Dante
that up.
feels
And
about the
they are the
Kendrick-
most famous band from that area.
How Dante feels about the Kendrick show is how I would feel about a Dead show. You know what I mean? Like,
it would be a cool opening if they went into something else, maybe.
Is there an EDM artist that would work? Probably not.
Dante.
Like,
Dante, get up there and do the Blackout Tour set, bro.
Yeah.
All we do is fucking party.
I mean, they could do like a medley of artists, like the John Summits and the Dom Dollars and everything like that. Those guys make $1 million a show.
I feel like if they go hardcore country, first of all, if Jay-Z is still in control of it, I don't think they're gonna go country, are they?
No, probably not. It's a good
And I feel like if they go that far the other direction, that almost feels racist to me. Like, we didn't like what you did up there last year. We're gonna go with our like good old white boys. Like, I also wonder that when people like that was so hip hop and that was good for the culture. It's like the one time we finally got a solo rap act, he did it in a way that was very polarizing. Where I mean, it wouldn't have been very Kendrick and it wouldn't be very hip hop to worry about that shit. But would it have been better for rap if it was like, we're gonna pave the way for more of this because it was so well received versus we pissed off a lot of people?
well, yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with that point. I think it's part of a problem with rap or a lot of genres now. Like we were talking about this in relation to rock, is like when something becomes accepted enough to be at the Super Bowl, it like by virtue of that fact loses some of the appeal for
Cool
what
factor.
made it edgy
Yeah.
in the beginning place. And obviously like that's a good problem to have where you can get someone like Kendrick at the Super Bowl. It means that it's like a good spot for hip hop to be, but it also sometimes marks like, okay, that's the end of hip hop in terms of being like edgy and on the outside,
Right.
you know?
That
So
is
I don't know
that's the
how
rub,
where
is
you play
always
that angle.
to maintain that, but still do
Yeah.
you know what pleases the masses. But you know, like I look at like, I mean, this is not a Super Bowl act by any means, but I'm just talking about rap performances in general. Like that, the verses with the Locks and Dipset was like this fucking rap spectacle. Like put Jadakiss out there and let him do his thing.
Jadakiss solo.
You know, yeah, like those guys are not on the level, so that's not going to happen. But there is a way to do rap where it's like, holy shit, that was cool, and everybody liked it, and it doesn't have to be this like
They did it.
introspective
They
shit.
did it in L.A. They brought out
Yeah,
Eminem.
yeah,
they
they did.
brought out
They did.
50 Cent. They brought out Mary J. Blige.
They
Like
did.
that is cool. That is what they
Wasn't
should
50 Cent upside down?
Yeah.
50 Cent was upside down.
and there's still guys left. You know, there's like the Nellies of the world and like big acts that like would please the hip hop world, but also you
Bad
know,
Boy
big
Records
rivalry.
thing. We could do a whole like
Bad Boy
all those-
Records is a
all
great
those
idea.
dudes.
Get in contact. By the way, we ignored the fact that Kanye tweeted free Puff and then was trying to get Trump to pardon Puff. It's like, dude, come on, man.
Awful.
Let Kanye do the halftime show.
Would HOF ever do it himself?
No.
Would he just be like, it's me. I'm doing it. Fuck you guys.
I think it'd be a great halftime show.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I mean, that's
it would
'cause
be
those are the guys you
very
need.
good.
That's the catalog you need.
Yeah,
It would be very good if he did.
Yes, he'd be awesome.
I don't know. I could see like a Luke Combs doing it or like a Morgan
Yes.
Wallen. I
Yeah.
could see it, but I think Post Malone's the perfect blending of both worlds.
Yes, I think it'll be because I don't think you can go from one to the other without people being like, oh, we
now
knew
we
it
got
was
the
gonna
other side.
happen. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for giving us a couple. Now go do your country shit. Like I
Right.
could totally see that being an argument. But I think Post would be good because then Post gives you like Quavo could come out and then fucking, Morgan Wallen can come out too. Like everybody gets to do shit.
Well, how about this take, though? I'm going to steal this take from our boy Joey Camasta on Out and About, who said, the Super Bowl halftime show is no place for a man. Divas
Facts.
only. Bring the
Yeah.
ladies back. Everybody kind of likes that. The girls are happy. The guys are happy for different reasons. Let a girl who just has hit after hit just go up there and do it, and you don't feel the need to, like, defend her or fight for her or
Who was
just
the
hate
last
her
girl?
music.
Rihanna?
I just said,
Well, yeah.
you put Dua Lipa up there. 100%
Will you fucking stop?
rate.
Yeah, I'm
100%
dude.
success rate.
Tate
She is not on that
McRae.
level.
Why
Yeah,
can't we get Tate McRae on there?
We just need
Dante?
Dante
Not yet.
Bank up there. Dante's
more.
like,
Yeah, I know. I want to see her do that thing where she gyrates on the fucking mic, too. Settle down, Dante.
He's like, then I can close out my Pornhub tab and just watch the Super Bowl.
he's like, no longer do I need 2 screens for 4 hours. This is great.
No, but like Miley, I think would be good. I think
Miley
Miley's
would
the
be good.
person
Miley
who,
would be
like,
dope.
people think of her as like this teeny bopper, but she'll go up there and do like some deep, like country hits and some bluesy shit, and then do Party in the USA, and then bring out Bruno Mars and bring out
Wayne
whoever,
Coyne.
like, yeah.
Because Gaga already did it, right? Gaga did it, and hers was good. I remember
She
hers
jumped
being
off the
good.
roof.
Yeah, she was good. See, that's part of why Kendrick's halftime show didn't work, because my bar is like Lady Gaga jumping off the roof.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and then you're just doing a grounded performance in a PlayStation controller and playing non-hits. So I'm kind of like, all right, this is taking me out. Also, I'm not a fair person to ask about this, because this is the first time in 7 years where I was just like, dude, get the halftime show over with. I need to get back to the game. Do you know what? I'm not a fair person here. But I don't know. Overall, I think we're all in agreement. Cool performance, wasn't a Super Bowl halftime show.
I mean, and by the way, the jeans are ridiculous. The jeans are absurd. What's going on? You can't be 5'5" and wear jeans that go underneath your shoes. You look like, a girl when I was in 7th grade wearing her UGG boots with her jeans underneath their fucking feet.
Yeah, the fashion was a little tough. Cool jacket though. I like the biker jacket. That was cool. But no outfit changes. What? No, we're not doing outfit changes anymore. Kenny, you know what? Kenny, you're the most diehard Kendrick guy here. I want your final thoughts on this entire thing.
It's on point with what everybody's saying. Like, I love Kendrick. I think the performance was awesome. Like what you said, for like an award show, right? That would be like the perfect place for that thing. But like, it just didn't work for the Super Bowl. I was also like watching a TV, no good speakers, just TV fucking speakers with 1,000 conservatives around me, just white guys, just being like, I can't fucking understand them. La 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 la.
Dude,
I keep asking this question: who are you hanging
your
out with?
friends?
You're always saying that your friends
I'm
are.
telling you, I live in Thousand Oaks. It's a little bit outside of LA. Everywhere out of LA is very different.
Kenny, are you there? I have a black friend.
Yes.
Like you,
definitely.
Can I tell you,
Like,
they're
he's
all
Vietnamese,
also
it
fucking-
counts, right?
They're all also fucking cops. You know what I mean?
no, just a white cops, and they're like, Kenny, what's up, man? Fucking sail. You're like, all right, dude. Cool, man. But
They're
I
like
can bring,
P-
like,
they're
kids
like-
there, they can run around.
they're like POD and they think you're Mexican.
Dude, those are my boys.
Oh man, but yeah, that's the wrap on the halftime show. Kev, you want to hang out for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame conversation? You got somewhere to be?
I'm good. We can go.
All right, let's do it. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations for this year came out. I think this is a stellar group. Also, another conversation that gets into your uncle on Facebook conversation where they're like, that's not even rock and roll. What is this? Just like the fucking Hall of Fame now? I thought the nominees were phenomenal this year. I think there's a couple people that aren't rock and roll acts that are going to get in, but there's a couple acts in there that I'm shocked aren't in already. I'm going to run down the nominees.
Every year, you're like, how the hell are they a nominee?
Okay, here's your nominees for this year. Bad Company. How is Bad Company not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already? That's insane. The Black Crowes. I think they need to wait. I don't think they're there yet. Their first album came out in 1990.
If they're not there now, I don't,
Yeah, they need to be in an off year. They're not a Rock and Roll Hall
you
of
know
Fame
what I mean?
first
Like,
ballot
they're not
band.
in there now, then they probably shouldn't be in there anyway.
Hey, hold on. Start here for the layman. What are the credentials?
Yeah,
that
it's
you
just the
need.
American Music Hall of Fame, and you have to be 25 years.
25 years, yeah.
After
I
your
think there's a lot of
initial album.
political jockeying behind. Like, you got to have a manager or a team that's like kind of making the push, plus the criteria.
Sure.
Like, it's not just happening by random. Like, someone's there pushing it, even for the artists that deserve to be there.
Next up is one of the all-time hit makers in the history of hit makers. She had more hits at one point than I think she's right on par with the Beatles. Mariah Carey.
She's got as
My
many
favorite.
hits as anybody ever.
My fucking favorite.
Mariah Carey.
The fact that she's not in, I just think of this as like the Music Hall of Fame at this point because it just that's what it is. That's crazy that she's not in there.
Once again, you're talking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How is Chubby Checker not in yet? The guy who did the twist. That's fucking crazy. Joe Cocker. Joe Cocker should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I do love a Joe Cocker.
Billy Idol. This is a weird one. Billy Idol's cool and everything. On this ballot,
yeah,
I don't see him getting in on this ballot. And of course,
That's
in
the
our,
other
how
thing.
many
How
do they
many
let
get in
through?
each year?
Yeah,
it's usually around 4 to 5.
Right.
I feel like if you're a whole, I think this is sports too. I don't believe in like first ballot, second ballot, how many can get in. If there's a year where fucking, there's 5 immortal guys who all retire, like they all get in. And I think you're either in or you're not in this whole like, well, we'll get him in next year. It's like, is his career and is their catalog worth it or not?
Yeah.
It's like the Jeff Kent argument. Was Jeff Kent a Hall of Famer or was Jeff Kent borderline. He's been on the outs for years. So next up, Joy Division. I don't know enough of Joy Division to say, but like when we something, I posted this graphic and we got a ton of comments and people were like, Joy Division is a lock. I'm like, why? I don't
Well,
get it.
because there's an entire like 15 years of music that doesn't happen without Joy Division, New Order's like movement
Fair.
in that world, you know.
Same thing with Cyndi Lauper, who's the next nominee. Cyndi Lauper,
All
girls
right,
just want to have fun.
I had Girls Just Want to Have Fun stuck in my head for like 2 straight weeks up until like 2 or 3 days ago for some reason. I think it was in a commercial or something. And I would just be like humming it at the office.
They
and
implanted
none of
in
the
Turkey,
youths-
Dave.
Yeah,
What's
it's implanted in Turkey.
Well, none of the youths knew who she was.
We gotta
Grosses
get to
me
use
out.
on it, dude. Mana, I think they're a big Mexican band, I believe. I don't want to
Never
be
heard of
wrong
them.
about this. Oasis, their first time on the ballot. Is Oasis a first ballot Hall of Famer band, Dante?
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
think
good.
so.
We're in agreement on this.
I
And the
think
year
so.
they come back. And the year they come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, here's a lock for me, and this is the one that a lot of people were on this. Outcast first year on the ballot, have to go in.
Absolute
Mhm.
1 billion
Yeah.
percent. lock.
That's like a Derek Jeter unanimous. Like,
Yes.
to me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Change the state of hip hop like the most. It's one of those groups that like if you want to act like you know rap, you're like, well, have you listened to fucking early
You know what?
Outkast?
Dante mentioned it before, but they're perfect. They would go on the Super Bowl and they'd give you "Hey Ya," and they do fucking "So Fresh and So Clean," and then also when you listen to the lyrics of Miss Jackson, you're like, "Oh fuck, this is my
Yeah,
fault."
exactly. Here's a cult classic, but probably still the biggest touring band. Fish. This is Fish first year on the ballot. I personally would put Fish in for what they've done. Now, Kenny, close your ears. For what they've done for like jam bands in the touring industry and just like what they've created. I kind of am a Fish guy. I'm not a diehard Fish guy, but like I like Fish should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Maybe not this year, but Fish should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't
Dave,
think
you're
I've
right.
ever listened to Fish, but they should be in there.
Yes.
I bet you there's a lot of people that would say that. I think there obviously are the Fish fans, but everyone else would go, I don't really know them, but like of them, and you can't.
Yeah,
talk
it's just
about
like a
music without
word,
their
it's like a name, like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Soundgarden also up this year. Soundgarden not being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is kind of crazy.
I like a Soundgarden.
I like
I do.
Soundgarden too.
I'm a bigger fan of Audio Slave. Myself?
I actually am a bigger fan of Audio Slave.
Because Kenny fucking hates them, right?
I know.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking terrible. I mean, I put Soundgarden like for that era as influential as a Pearl Jam and a Nirvana and a Weezer, and like that era was just undeniable. So like,
Yeah.
But this is also what's hard if you want to look at like a sports reference. I don't know. This is like being the 4th best shooting guard in the 90s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is like you're not Jordan. You're
no, true.
so. But then again, as influential, started Chris Cornell's career. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just don't know if it'll be this year. And the last one, which I think you can kick rocks on, they need to be later, is the White Stripes.
Fucking boo, dude. Boo.
Dude, listen, hey, fuck you, Kenny. You invent the blues.
Fuck
You belong
Boo,
in the
dude.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
He
Jack
invented
White's-
faking the blues.
Jack White's just such a nerd.
Fucking nerd.
I can't deal with him
Shut up.
anymore.
Go play a cardboard box, you nerd.
He was
Fuck
there
outta
with Muddy Waters. He was there at the very fucking beginning. Okay.
I'm so fucking edgy. Shut
him
up.
and his sister wife were down at the crossroads making a deal with the devil.
To me,
I-
there's like, if I look at this list, there's a cut above. Mariah
Yes.
Carey, Chubby Checker, Oasis, Outkast, Fish, I think are like all-time acts that maybe you like, maybe you don't like, but like Soundgarden is a good band, but is like, I don't know, you can throw out a bunch of comparables like we just did. Who are you throwing out that's a comparable to Outkast? Who are you throwing out that's a comparable to Mariah Carey? That's also not in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Well, so then you can look at where Bad Company is, still waiting to get in, right? That could be what Soundgarden is. Bad Company was the 70s, great band, classic band, fucking hits for days, but they weren't like Zeppelin. You know what I mean? Like,
That's my argument. Like, all right, well, I'll use baseball because I speak in the language of baseball, but like Billy Wagner is being talked about for the Hall of Fame right now. And Billy Wagner was awesome. in 20 years, if you ask me like who were the like best pitchers of your of your era when you grew up, he wouldn't even come close to crossing my mind. Just like Bad Company wouldn't, not by fault of their own, more because they're like the product of being, in an era with Led Zeppelin.
It's almost like you need an outsider perspective to gauge the relative fame of someone. Like, for instance, I know Fish probably deserves to belong in there. Like, I've never listened to them. I might be wrong on that.
We've talked about number of
if you ask me about who should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, I'm gonna know like the 5 big guys, like fucking Babe Ruth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally know nothing about baseball, and I'm gonna know like 5, 6, 7 guys.
But we've talked
like
about
your starting criteria.
We've talked about number of hits. We've talked about level of fame. We talked like there's too many voting criteria and variables.
My favorite thing with Hall of Fame, and I think it's a broad way to do it, but I think a good way to do it, they're doing it with Eli right now. You can't tell the story. If you can't tell the story of music or the sport without the person, I think they should be in.
It's a great point.
And if you're
That's
talking
a high
about
bar.
music
That's
and
a
you're talking
big bar.
about jam bands and shit, Fish is going to be on there. And
absolutely.
If you don't tell me about Soundgarden, would you still be able to convey the story of music at that time? I think you would.
Yeah,
that's a
listen,
really good
that's
point.
a high fucking bar. You know what I mean? And if that's the bar, then I agree with you.
I agree with that, but I think that's what the Hall of Fame for everything should be. I think we get a little loosey-goosey with Hall of Fame sometimes.
They need a private, like the champagne room of the Hall of Fame.
That too.
That's like the next tier.
The Hall of Really Good. Like, there's nothing wrong with being in the Hall of Really Good. You had an awesome fucking career.
Look, I'm a big Chase Utley guy. Chase Utley's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he was an unbelievably good player. He was just really good. Or like
Kenny and me would be in the hallway to the Hall of Fame.
You guys could park there.
Like,
you could park.
First door on the left next to the men's bathroom.
Yeah.
No, hey, honestly, for baseball, every year they release the ballot, and you have to be retired for 5 years to be on the ballot for the first time. And there'll be names like, oh shit, he had that couple really good years. Like Kenny, you'd be on the ballot for sale.
That's
I would get nominated, but not confirmed. You know what I mean?
Kenny and Johnny.
But that's props in and of itself just to get that nomination.
Yeah.
Are you putting me in the Hall of Really Good?
I'm putting you in the Hall. I'm putting you in the Hall
for sure.
If there was a
Thanks,
Hall
boys.
of Fame for fucking alternative radio in
For
2012,
one-hit
you're both
wonders?
on there, bro. You're both on there.
Oh yeah,
piss me
for
off in the
certain.
car.
If you were if there was a Hall of Fame for 2014, July 3rd, then I'm the fucking top of that one.
Can I say that it's also kind of dumb that like I ruled the 2010s? Like that sounds stupid. The 2010s, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that kinda sucks.
50s, 60s, 70s, you're like, what a dumb set of.
It's like you and LMFAO. You know what I mean? You guys are both hanging out together.
You can't tell the story without LMFAO, bro.
Just me battling Imagine Dragons and then losing at the end.
Dude, how about that? Did you guys see that thing that went viral on TikTok for us? Like the guy from LMFAO is a fucking pro tennis player now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
This is another thing about the internet that pisses me the fuck off, though. I also pointed out something I didn't know, which I did my research. His dad is Barry Gordy, the fucking founder of Motown Records.
Do you see?
Oh yeah, I did know that.
Now that makes sense, though.
Now, but here's
Now
the
it
thing,
all
though.
starts to click.
His dad wouldn't sign him. First off, he's the 8th child of Barry Gordy from his 5th different wife. So it's like at that point, you're kind of like,
brother.
all right. Here's the thing, though. His dad wouldn't sign him because he said he sucked. So there's one thing. So the Nepo baby thing is kind of out. This is the thing that pisses me off, though. When people hop my comments like that was common knowledge, bro. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do my I'm not up on my LMFAO history. Suck my bird. Like, what the fuck? Like, you nerds are sitting here talking about LMFAO like I'm doing research on Prince. It's like,
Fun
yes,
side note, our buddy Matthew Coma, his brother played drums in LMFAO for like a bunch of tours.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
And he
There
had to
you go.
dress like them, and that is not his personality. It's
He
really
had
funny.
cheetah print skinny jeans on.
That's tough.
Like with like graffiti spray painted all over him.
And I also liked in the video, I like made a joke like, oh, their hits like Party Rockin' and Party Rockin'. They're like, you forgot about shots. It's like, shut up, dude. Like, I'm making a joke. God, get a sense of fucking humor. I don't want to read the
That's the
comment.
message for the whole goddamn world, bro. You're talking about music. You're talking about Kendrick. You're talking about politics. Just get a fucking sense of humor, bro.
Just grow the fuck up. Shut up, dude. It's LMFAO. But by the way, I don't know if you guys can tell this. Dante's not on screen right now because I'm sure he's on a call with the Italian consulate. His name in the group right now is proud citizen of Italy, Dante Diana. I gotta know what's going on with this guy, man.
He is
Bro,
so off
it's
the
still up
rocker.
it's the Bears and the Patriots, Chicago and Boston, Italy and America. He's just like Mr. fucking both sides
He's
of the coin.
wishy-washy, bro. He's
Yeah.
just wishy-washy. And I wanted. Is there a way we can get a camera to follow Dante around for like?
Oh,
48
that's
hours?
a fucking reality show I'd watch, man.
Just like the live stream backpack. Have him carry a GoPro
Yeah.
everywhere. I
You
need
know
to know.
what? When you'd get the best content, it would be in a weird way super fucking boring, because I'd want to see him on his couch like with a 30 milligrams of edibles
Yes.
in him going down his right wing rabbit hole.
Yes,
I feel like we did that on the
Dante.
Grammy stream last
We
year.
did,
Wasn't that
yeah.
what we did? It was
Yeah.
like literally just Dante on the couch. We're like, dude, we're live on Twitter. Can we all like
Nothing
face
was.
the camera?
Dante was on the other side of the room, and then Sam Smith came on, and he goes, "Oh, here we go. Here's the demonic symbolism I've been waiting for. I knew it was coming." I'm
I
like,
want to watch Dante like clean his guns and like distill his water for the fucking zombie apocalypse while ranting about Lori Lightfoot for like 7
but
minutes.
then also like on Instagram reels, like beating off to like Tate McRae. Like there's just something. But then you know what?
Multifaceted.
Yeah, I just at an extravagant dinner for one, just like, but on his phone at the same time reading about like Senate hearings. Like I love it. It makes me so happy. But it's
Listen, I say this every time. I do hope he does get his Italian citizenship, because like I need a good hookup in Italy for like restaurants and all that. So
Is he
I'm
gonna go?
going,
live
hey,
there?
when are you
Is
going?
that
I'm going in
planned?
April, Johnny.
no, I went when I went whatever it is, last year or the year before. He sent me fucking legit spots like to go to that I wouldn't have found without him. So
I was with my sister-in-law on the weekend, and when she did the Chicago Marathon, she was like, "Hey, can you ask Dante for restaurant recommendations?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'll hook you up." Dante and her are talking back and forth, and then she goes out at late, and Dante's like not answering, and she's like, "Damn, your friend's not hitting me up." And I'm like, "Oh, that sucks. He's probably busy." And then at like 3:00 in the morning, he texts her and says, "Hey, I'm sorry, my bar was just robbed. I'm sorry I couldn't help you." It's like, this is the most Dante thing of all time. Oh man! All right,
This
that's
is
enough.
a hypothetical.
Go ahead.
This may or may not have actually happened, but I was riding in Dante's car. This is a couple of years ago. Actually, it was on the way. We were on the way to an interview for Backstage, and someone was in the. I forget who was in the front seat. I was in the back, and I'm fidgeting in between the seats, like shoving my hand down in between the two back seats. And I just pull out a 9mm.
It's Chicago, baby. Got to stay ready.
Wow.
sorry, Colin. Before we hang this up, is there any way you can show that thing on the screen?
Oh, you want me to pull that thing up?
I'll send that link again just in case it.
I can't share on my.
I got it.
end.
I got it. I
You
got
got
it.
it.
Eat shit. Let the Asian.
Second one I did. It's probably not going to make sense to anyone, but I think it's funny as fuck because
I got one more thing before we end on this. Dante wanted me to do this. Dante sent me pictures. He hates Diplo for some reason. I don't know why. I hate Diplo for a specific reason. They had all those pictures of the Super Bowl after party with all the Philly celebrities in there, whatever. And it's like Zach Bryan, Diplo, Miles Teller, and Shane Gillis. I will give I'm a Shane Dick Rider. We all know this. Shane's from PA. Miles Teller is from the suburbs. Fucking Diplo and Zach Bryan are both from Oklahoma. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's
Get
crazy.
out of here, you weirdos.
His whole I don't trust like Zach Bryan becoming an Eagles fan from Oklahoma because your girl rooted for them, but then you totally adopt them. I don't trust people like that, man. There's something like if you do that, that's fucking weird.
I want to get a bunch of Oklahoma City Thunder gear and just start playing shows in it. I want to start fucking wearing it on the podcast all the time. Just be like, man, I love the Thunder. Go Thunder. You know, there's something that annoys me so much now about it being cool to be an Eagles fan. And I know this is gatekeeping and it's corny. You weren't in the trenches. You don't remember Ray Rhodes. You don't remember the shit that we went through. Fuck you. It bothers
I don't
me.
mind bandwagon fans. It's when but if you don't pretend, like if you pretend you're not a bandwagon fan, then I got a problem.
Well,
You know what I mean?
It's like me with the
Like, don't be
Blackhawks.
standing next to fucking Shane being like Philly, Philly, Philly. It's like, nah, you two.
I don't root for the Flyers because I feel like a bandwagon fan.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
But
this
that's how I
shit,
am with
man.
the Blackhawks. If you like openly admit that you're on the band, like with Kevin with the Isles,
Yes.
like that's different.
Right. I'm like, I would never talk to Frankie Borelli like I'm a real Islanders fan.
That's
Yes.
my
I root for
point.
them instead of the Rangers. Yes, that's
But then
fine.
it becomes your whole personality for a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, Diplo. Fucking go back to Oklahoma. You too, Zach Bryan. Both of you. Fucking skip back to Oklahoma. Zach Bryan made it like a big personality trait where all his merch now is Eagle shit on it. Get out of here, you fucking
It makes me
weirdo.
so mad.
It makes me mad.
I know, bitch. I'm looking.
Johnny, we can't pull that up right now. We're gonna post it right away.
Yeah, it's all good.
Unless you can, Colin, it won't let me.
I can't. It won't let me. All right, we're gonna post that right away. KFC, thank you for being here. We had an interview with Luke Bryan, or not Luke Bryan, with Lee Bryce, country star Lee Bryce, dropping this week. It'll either be tomorrow. Who knows? It could be any of the L's, dude. You have no idea.
We have George Jones coming on tomorrow.
Dude, I told you guys we're naming the next baby Luke, right?
Oh yeah.
I told you that. Well, we just got a bunch of stuff with his name printed on it, and it says Luke Budney, and I read it, and I was instantly like, it looks like a country singer. I was like, this kid, it looks so country, and I can't help it. But all right, boys, take it easy, all right?
Hey, Dante, buena noche.
Yeah, Dante. Oh, Dante, how did that go? Dude, you out?
Yeah, my passport comes in 10 days.
So are you leaving America or what?
Arrivederci.
I do. You will not know.
I didn't know you were that much of a snowflake, Dante. Damn, Trump gets in office, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm out. Dude,
I know this is your time to thrive, bro.
Come on, man.
Is it because
All right,
of RFK?
Hey, actually, I want to do a quick off the list. I've been going at it with the internet trolls this week, which is not really outside the norm, but so I got shit on a week ago. It's like White Sox Dave knows absolutely fucking nothing about football, and I'm like, okay, true, but like, why? And he's like, DJ Moore didn't go to fucking Europe for his family vacation. He went to Hawaii, you idiot. And I'm like, okay, so I messed up the vacation destination. And then, so that was a whole thing. Have any of you guys watched A Handmaid's Tale?
Yes.
So absolutely fantastic show. Very insanely fucked up show, but fantastic nevertheless. I said something about how they had the right idea in Gilead on a podcast the other day, and someone's trying to fucking burn me at the stake right now.
Dude. I wonder why. Why.
Can you take a fucking joke?
Yeah, we're like that close from that happening. So
here we go.
Dante.
A little touchy, Dave.
Wow. I mean, Dave,
you are a crazy person. That was his argument. He's like, well, with all the MAGA, and it's like, that's actually, they're using that as a playbook right now. I'm like, wait, hold on.
No, I don't know about that. I'm just saying.
Novel.
I'm just saying things could very easily get to that point.
I would love to see the stack
post-nuclear war, like overthrow of the U.S. government. I don't see that really happening.
I would love to see Trump's stack of like historical books that he's referencing for his playbooks. He just has like The Handmaid's Tale and like Garfield. Like, you know, he just has like Calvin and Hobbes.
We had such a clean ending to this episode, and then you fuckers start going down this lane.
I was gonna say, is this the show? Is that still going?
He's got the fourth Harry Potter book. Yeah, all right, guys.